Hello everyone, and welcome. I'm gonna give y'all a couple minutes to get in here, but welcome whether you're watching the live stream, welcome if you're watching the replay, whether you're watching here on Facebook or another social media channel or YouTube. I'm so excited that you're here, and I cannot wait to show this IEP planner, lesson planner with you. It is the same option as last year. You have the Amazon printed option and you have the digital download version option, except this year on Amazon, I have more cover options available for you. So in the description of this video, no matter what channel you're on, you'll be able to find the link to our shop, which will have all of the Amazon planners there for you. Click on which planner cover you would like, and then you can purchase on Amazon. And then the digital download version is available on Teachers Pay Teachers and also here in our shop, which again, both are linked below this video. The reason for this video though is so I can show you all of the insides and everything so you can make the best decision to determine if this is right for your classroom, for your students, and for the lesson planning and IEP caseload manager that you are. So I have ordered all of the lesson planners from Amazon. Again, they are all the same guts, all of the same insides, just the covers are different. And so I have not prepped any of these differently like I did last year. I ordered one and prepped it with Happy Planner discs. I also had taken one and gotten it spiral bound at Office Depot. I do plan on doing that, but I haven't gotten there yet. I was too excited and wanted to show you all of the guts of inside of these planners. So here is one of the cover options. Here is this one. Again, they're all linked below. You can find them in our shop. This is the OG. This is the one I'm going to go through. We have our sunshine version, and all of these covers are available inside of the digital version as well. There's other covers available inside of the digital version. So if you don't like any of these planner covers, you can either purchase just the planner covers in the shop, or you can purchase the whole digital version and get the whole planner with all of the different cover options. So you have that option as well. Only the cover is in color, everything else inside is black and white. But let's take a look at the insides together. Now, I'm gonna walk you through all of the insides, explain to you why I put certain things in here, why I laid it out in the way that I did, and just really walk you through everything. So if you have questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section here. I will answer questions live, but if you are watching the replay and you have other questions, you can leave comments. I will come back periodically to answer them, or you can also email us at support@mrsdscorner.com. All right, so I'm gonna use this one. Again, all of the guts are the same, just the covers are different. And so you have the cover page here, which just tells you, the basics of the same as the front. You also have options here. So you have our Intentional IEP website for all things IEP writing. You have the Intentional IEP shop. We have our book on IEP writing, which is right here. If you want to order that, there is a link there that you can use. And then if you want to join the Intentional IEP membership, which gives you a lot of additional data forms and all of that good stuff, there is a code there that will save you 50% off your first month. And then if you purchase this on Amazon and you're like, oh, I want more of these pages, or I want a different cover, or I want to be able to edit how this is said, there's a link here, a code that you can scan to get the digital version on in the shop. And so with the digital version, you can edit anything. I've left it fully editable for you, but also within the digital version, there's a print and ready to go version. They're both ready to go for the upcoming school year, 2024-2025. So you can either edit it and make it exactly like you want it for your classroom, or you can print it as how you see here, and it is ready to go. So you have your table of index so that you can see what is where. The first pages, and I include these first because I think this is important if you have an emergency sub or a long-term sub. If they're going to be in your classroom and they're going to open up your lesson planner, this is good information for them to have on the first couple of pages. So teacher info, daily schedule, if you have classroom paras, where to find it, you have different duties, maybe where you need to be, classroom birthdays, classroom allergies, notes, and maybe if you have parent volunteers or maybe PTA volunteers, you have the option to list them here, or this could even be like your favorite subs. If you wanted to list out sub information there, you could put that as well. Classroom procedure, so arrival, specials, lunch, recess, dismissal, fire drill, lockdown, severe weather, other, and other, because things are done differently everywhere. We have different drills that we have to practice, maybe for different schools. I know some schools that I've worked in have had like with the compact classrooms outside, and so maybe they have different rules or procedures for getting out of those in severe events or getting to and from those compacts outside. So you have other option here. Student login information, paraprofessional schedules. So there's only 3 sections here. I do know that some of you have many more paras. For those of you that work in the severe classrooms, Some of you have more paraprofessionals than that, so you could definitely copy this page and keep it in here so you have multiples. Student services schedule, so who has OT, who has PT, speech, adaptive PE, vision, all that good stuff. When do they have it and where do they go? The frequency, the days and times, you can keep it here. School personnel contact information, so who is in the school that you need to be aware of and what is their contact information if you need to get a hold of them for any reason. IEP team specialist contact information, so are there district employees like the occupational therapist if they travel school to school, or the speech therapist, maybe they contract out for a vision therapist, or the orientation and mobility person, maybe they are just one district person for the whole district. So what is their name, what is their information, just so that you have it. Your caseload snapshot is 2 pages. I know those of you that teach resource, I've been there, I've had caseloads of over 60 students, so there's lots of room here for you to have your caseload on one spread here. I forget how many spots there are for you to add names, but basically student name, grade, homeroom, disability, due date, testing date, and the services they receive. Then you have, I believe I gave you 16 or 17 because the average caseload is 16 or 17 students per special education teacher. Again, I know those of you that teach resource or inclusion have a lot more students than that, but I went with the average. So the average is 16 or 17. Again, you can copy and paste these, but you have student profile and IEP snapshot. What I love about this is that once you get past this here, these are front back. And so you can make copies of those if you would like. And then it goes into long range planning. So you can plan 1 year here by month, long range planning by week. So 40 weeks is the average that some of you go a little bit longer depending upon where you work, but I did 40 weeks. So you can plan out themes if you want to do it by week. You have your curriculum map. I tried to give you as many boxes as I could without making it too small to write in or be able to see what you're putting in there. You have quarter 3 and quarter 4. Quick glance calendars. I did not put a full 2025 calendar in here because you're still in 2024 and I didn't want you to miss out on these dates or be able to look back for planning purposes or looking back for IEP purposes. So you have the 2023-2024 school year and the 24-25 school year. You have your IEP tracking calendar, so you'll write what IEPs are due when on here. It's also by quarter if you wanted to break it down that way so you could see who's due this quarter, who's due this quarter, and so on and so forth. Then you have your IEP writing timeline, which if you don't purchase a planner, I'll go back and throw the link for the IEP writing timeline. It is a free resource that we have here at the Intentional IEP within Mrs. D's Corner. And so it just gives you the framework as to when to do what before an IEP meeting. So you have your timeline here, and then you have your caseload IEP writing timelines. You write your student name, their meeting date, and then plan out what days and what is due when. And then it goes into the actual calendar and lesson planning pages. So you have your full spread for each month, July through June of 2025. And you have your priorities over here. So must do, maybe do, due later. You have your IEPs due this month, IEP dues next month. Don't forget upcoming events, notes, and then you have a look at the next month's calendar. These are not dated because it just really depends person to person. It makes it easier if it's not dated. You can do stickers, you can write it in there, however you want it to be. Then it goes into my favorite part, actually, I don't know why, but our related services checklist. And so it goes for each month. You write the student's name when they receive a service, and then you check it off or write the date or how many minutes they received. And then there's check boxes here, received all of their minutes this month or needs minutes. So you can keep track of who is getting minutes. Are they getting all of their minutes? That way when it comes to the IEP meeting time, or if you're looking at progress monitoring and you're like, I don't think they got all their minutes, you have a place to track it each month. Then you have your month at a glance, week 1 through 5, priorities, deadlines, and don't forget. That's where I like to do my brain dumps of things that I have that are due. And then you have your weekly lesson plan spread for each week of every month. And so I broke it down by each month. They get so many weeks based off of the calendar. And I left it completely blank for you. One of the things that I heard when I was writing this or creating this planner last year was there's not enough boxes for me for all of the small groups that I do with my students. And so I tried to give you as many boxes as I could without having too many boxes, without the boxes being too small, or without there just not being any structure at all. And so you can either choose to put times here, you can do the days of the week here. However you want to use this to lesson plan, it really is there for you to use in the way that you need it to be made into. And so you have your top priorities, your para schedule, and your notes. And so you have additional weeks of for each. And then it will go into August. Again, same thing. You have your month, you have your related services checklist, your month at a glance, and then you have your weekly lesson planning pages. So I'm going to skip through all of that to get to the other goodies at the end after the lesson planning pages. So you can see there's a whole bunch of lesson planning pages here, right? And you can always copy them and make more if you need to, or print more if you have the digital version. Then we go into the IEP meeting checklist. Again, because the average caseload for a special education teacher is 16 or 17 students, I gave you, I forget if it's 16 or 17 copies in the printed version. In the digital version, you can print as many as you need. You can change out any of the wording if you'd like, but this is an IEP meeting checklist, what to do before, what to do during, and what to do after the IEP meeting. And then I gave you IEP meeting notes. So these can either be like your official notes for the meeting, or these could just be your unofficial notes for you to keep track of things. And so what I like a lot about this is who was in attendance, and then you have your notes section, then the next steps. That's a part that we often forget when we're taking notes at an IEP meeting, is who is going to do what and when is it due by, and who do I need to reconnect with to share that information with them. So that is here at the bottom. Again, I forget if there's 16 or 17 of those pages in there for you. There's quite a few. And then we go into the collaboration log. As a special education teacher, we are collaborating with a lot of different people all of the time. And so I wanted to give you some pages where you could keep track of who you're collaborating with and when you're collaborating with them for just data purposes. You have 6 of those pages, and then it goes into the bell curve poster and the bell curve conversion chart. Then you have an assessment timeline chart. This is to keep track of district and statewide assessments for your different students, especially if you have a lot of students on different grade levels, when their assessments are, when the benchmarks are, when the start and end dates are, what grade level it is, what type of assessment it is, just for you to keep track. And the next 2 pages are student assessment scores. If you wanted to keep track of everything in one place, you have the option to do so. Then you have third-party billing, which is something that a lot of planners leave out. So third-party billing, these up here at the top are August, September, October, November. Those are the months. And so you have the student name, and you just check it off, or you can put the date in for when you submitted their third-party billing. Then it moves into the accommodation tracker. So you put the student's name, their accommodations can go here, like the most common ones that you have. Student's name, you can check it off, or put the date or the time period or the class period for when they use that accommodation. Great data for an IEP meeting. You have, again, 16 or 17 of those pages, and then it comes into an IEP goal tracker. So this is for one student and their goals, and you can put in here when you collected data on that goal, and or you could put the date at the top and then put the data from the trial there, or whatever, however you're tracking that data, to keep it all in one place if you wanted to do it that way. Or you could do goals with objectives. Again, 16 or 17 of those pages. Then we move into the parent contact log section. This is one that you're probably going to want to copy or make multiple copies of. I like to keep the parent contact log in its own binder just because I separate it by student. If I ever have to pull out when I talk to a certain student's parents, or what I have to do next, or if it ever needs to be pulled for any reason, I have all of my student parent contact logs separated already. But you can keep it in here in one spot if you wanted to. There's quite a few pages of those. Then there's a professional development log, because we have to keep our certificates active, right? So what trainings did you attend this year? When did you complete the training, the number of minutes, and then any comments or notes? Maybe where is the certificate? Did you submit it already? Just put those notes there so that you remember to submit them, or where you kept the certificate and all of that information so you can submit it. And then at the end, there are multiple notes pages for you to take additional notes throughout the school year of all different things. And then I think there's like an empty page here at the end. Yes, just a blank page. But all of the planners, again, all of them look the same. You can, and I will link below this, the video from last year where I showed 4 different ways to prep this planner. Again, you can keep it as is. It is, I will say, this is the option that Amazon gives to print things. So it does become bulky if you wanted to like lay it flat and do things. It's still absolutely functional the way that it comes, but you can take it to Office Depot. They will cut the spine for you, and then they will put it spiral bind it for you if you would like to. I want to say last year it cost me between $6 and $13, I feel like, but I maybe did 2 last year. I don't remember. The price may be different this year, so please do not quote me, but call them and ask if they do it. Staples, any other, printing place will do it for you. I heard some teachers last year said they were able to take it to FedEx and they were able to do it for them. And I've also heard that Home Depot will cut the spines for you. Don't quote me, I've never tried it, I've never asked. But you have different options if you want it to be spiral bound. You can also cut it, have it get cut, or you can cut it yourself with an X-Acto knife, and be very, very careful, please. But then you can do the Happy Planner discs. I also prepped one that way last year. I also printed them out and had them spiral bound, and I printed one out and did the Happy Planner discs again. Or you can stick it in a binder. Again, I'm gonna leave the video. I'm gonna come back after this live. If you're watching the replay, you have the link below this for last year's YouTube video on 4 different ways to prep your planner, regardless if you purchase it on Amazon or if you download the digital download version and print it yourself. I don't see any comments here as we're doing this live, so I will come back and answer all of the questions that you do have. Again, you have all of the links that you could ever need for this IEP planner available on Amazon or in our Teachers Pay Teachers shop or on the Mrs. D's Corner shop. They are all linked below this video. If you have any additional questions about any of the planners, any of the covers, or anything IEP planner related, you wish that it had something else in there, a different data sheet, a different planner type, or something like that, I'm always open to suggestions. I would love to hear your feedback. Please send me an email, support@mrsdscorner.com, or leave a comment here on this video. I would love to hear from you. Again, you have all the links that you need, but if there is anything else for you that you do need, I am always here and happy to help. I hope this look inside of our IEP planner for the 2024-2025 school year was helpful. I will see you soon.